A value scale is a chart that shows a color going from the lightest to the darkest. We just finished making a color wheel. Now we're going to complete the project by making value scale for each one of the colors. Okay, for this project we're going to take the color wheel that we made and cut it out and glue it right in the center of a square. Just put a few dots right around the outside. Make sure all the edges will be held down and put it right in the center like that. Press it down, maybe hold it for 30 seconds so it'll stay. Okay, then take a ruler and a marker and line up the ruler along one of the lines, and then trace over one of the lines like this and extend it all the way to the outside of the paper. All the way out like that. So you have a line going across. And go to the next line, line it up, and draw a line all the way to the edge of the paper. And then do the same thing to the last line. Just be sure you hold your ruler in place and don't let your writing hand push it out of the way. Okay. Okay, now we're going to make what we call value scales. You're going to have some white and one of the colors, one of the primary colors right now. Take a little bit of the color and mix it with a white. Just a little bit of the color, mix it with a white. And keep mixing it until you don't see streaks anymore. Because what we're trying to do is get what they call a tint of blue. And that means a tint is a color that has white added to it to make it lighter. And then I'm trying to get the excess off my brush so that when I go to paint, I'll have control over it. Sometimes you even have to just wipe off the excess with a paper towel. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to control. And then take some of the light blue that I just made and very carefully holding my brush like a pencil and pulling the brush backwards, make a stripe of that color, that light blue. This is also called a value of blue. Now, value means the dark and light of a color. This is a light value of blue. It's also a tint. Okay. Then take some more blue and mix it to make the mixture darker yet. A little bit darker blue. Mix it up really well. Try to keep it in one place on your palette, otherwise it's going to dry out and it won't really work. And then get the excess off your brush. Some of the next value of blue on your brush and paint a stripe right beside the first one. Remember to keep good control of your brush and just pull it along like this, leaning your hand on the paper. How neat the stripes are makes a big difference in how it looks. Okay, then you just go on and you add another little bit of blue and make it darker again. And after getting the excess off your brush, then you paint another stripe. So what you have is a value scale. It shows a color from light to dark. And some value scales will even start with white and go all the way to black. But we're not going to be adding black to the color today. When you add black to the color, that's called a shade for making it darker, but we don't really have room. And add another little bit of blue. Make it a little bit darker yet. And continue by painting another stripe. And what you're going to be doing is adding more blue, painting a stripe, adding more blue, painting a darker stripe, and so on until you get all the way to the edge. And here I'm just finishing up. Now I didn't end up getting all the way back to the original blue, but I got to a darker value of blue. So value scale from light to dark of one color. Just try to make it as neat as you can. It'll make a huge difference. Then clean your brush in one of the brush cleaning buckets by doing this. It helps get the paint off because you're going to be using another color. Okay, then test it on the back of your hand to see if there's any color left. There's not. And then you're ready to start with your next color. You want to wipe off the excess water off your brush too. Okay, I have a value scale for each color here, and each one of the value scales was made the same way that you just saw me make the one for the blue. Kind of gives a neat effect. It kind of radiates out and looks like it's really shining. The green I mixed, and the purple I mixed, and the orange I mixed, just like I mixed the ones for the color wheel.